Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pine Creek Railroad. Before we get moving, I should remind you of a few quick safety precautions. Please stay in your seats at all times. Your safety is our #1 priority. Also, please keep all items of value inside trains at all times, whether it be your limbs, children, or phones. And finally, please do not move between train cars while the train is moving. Now that everyone's seated, I am proud to say, all aboard!
Why is it so hot out?
This is probably the only nice day.
In Marlboro, New Jersey. A decade later, we moved to our current location here at Allaire State Park. While we do reside on federal property, we do not receive any money from state or federal governments. We still rely on ticket sales and donations. You may have noticed that we are known as the Jersey Museum of Transportation. That's for good reason. We have a lot of cool and old historic railroad artifacts such as locomotives and cars that we're riding on today, and the station, like Farmingdale Station, which is at the entrance. Navy 331787. You look to the right side train and you see that flat car. That is actually the original condition that this car was in when we got it. We got both these cars at the same time in the early 1970s, so we put a lot of work into this one to fix it up. You also look to the right, this is our maintenance away train that we're currently beating in a race right now because it has to go on the same track we do, and it's waiting for us. Shuttling troops and supplies around the base. Once it got to the Pine Creek Railroad, like I said, there was a lot of work that had to be done to it. Saying goes, no train is complete without a little red caboose at the back, and while today the caboose is not the end of the train, it is usually. And we are no exception here at the Pine Creek Railroad, our little old red caboose being CNJ number 91155. This caboose was originally built as a wooden boxcar in the year 1874, making this caboose 151 years older. The railroad that owned the boxcar of Jersey Southern would go bankrupt and be folded into Central Area New Jersey or Jersey Central, same thing. It and 150 others would be converted into cabooses in the year 1902. 91155 being the first example of this conversion. They would go to serve the Jersey Central for another 70 years until 1972, when they would be retired due to the Federal Railroad Administration not allowing wooden cabooses to operate on revenue freight trains anymore. This one would be donated to us here at the Pine Creek Railroad, but Jersey Central was willing to sell anyone that was interested in a caboose for the low price of $1,500, so you can get your own caboose. What a steal, really. Several buyers include a house in North Jersey that apparently has one built into the side of it, as well as a thrift shop in Toms River, New Jersey, bought one in 1973. They also purchased those 3 boxcars that you see over by the car barn that we'll go by later. We now own all 4 of these rolling stock, and we are currently in the process of restoring 1945 back to operational service. Hope to see that in the probably next year. Last car on our train is our Locomotive, 7751 for the U.S. Army. Also operated at Pearl Harbor and was built as a 25-tonner at the Erie Works, General Electric's Erie Works in beautiful Erie, Pennsylvania. It would go to service well, like I said, in Hawaii, and then would move to a sugar plantation, also in Hawaii, and then finally No River Gorge, known as Hillbilly World. Hillbilly World was unable to use a locomotive as heavy as 25 tons, which is relatively light for a locomotive, but it was too heavy for them, and so we would end up trading with them a different locomotive that we owned for their 7751 in the year 1977. 7751 would arrive at our property. In 77, we would have to send one of our Plymouths over to them. It's been on our roster ever since, and we intend on keeping it that way. Original Plymouth, it actually moved around a lot. It moved to Las Vegas, New Mexico, where it would become a fake steam engine. They would put fake stuff that made it look like a steam engine. And currently, we believe it's in Oklahoma. I also believe Hillbilly World does no longer exist. Now, if you look to the right side train, there's a lot of interesting stuff over there. A lot of old passenger cars and freight cars that we hope to restore one day. You'll see the coal car, that's East Broad Top Coal Car, hauling coal in the anthracite country in Pennsylvania. Also see that white coach that has the original Carroll Park and Western coach that we hope to restore pretty soon. You also see the caboose, the yellow caboose that is Raritan River number 7, a wooden caboose that used to operate on the Raritan River Railroad running between South Amboy and New Brunswick, New Jersey, stopping at towns such as Sayreville, Harlan, South River, and Milltown. That's another Carroll Park and Western coach, the green one, and then behind it is our engine shop that we used to restore 91245 and all the other projects, as well as store some of our locomotives. And you'll see here is the car barn, and behind the car barn is the 3 boxcars that we purchased from that thrift store in Toms River when it went bankrupt. This locomotive right here, number 5, our operating Plymouth, originally operated in Milltown, New Jersey, in a sand mine in Milltown. It was built in the year 1912. press for the switch, that number 5 locomotive will be chasing us all the way back to our station stop, so you may see it along the way.
Fun fact about that Plymouth we just mentioned, it has a 4-speed manual gearbox. You heard that right? A 4-speed manual gearbox. Think something similar to what you would see in a car. Pretty neat.
Thanks for that history, conductor. Now back to the regularly scheduled tour. If you look to the left side of your train, you'll see this bike path. It may just look like a bike path, but it was actually a railroad right-of-way running between Seagirt Junction and Manasquan, all the way to Farmingdale, New Jersey, where you connect to hit to Monmouth Junction on the northeast corridor. It's that to either north to New York City or south all the way to Washington, D.C. And you'll see that Man's Way train is now pulling out the siding. This line was tracks were originally laid by the Jamesburg Agricultural Railroad. This railroad, you guessed it, transported agricultural supplies as well as seafood products to market. Later it would be purchased by the Pennsylvania Railroad. Several key figures rode the line, including President James A. Garfield after his assassination attempt. He believed that the cool ocean breeze would cure his wounds, but as history goes show, that would be quite the opposite. Very unfortunate for President James A. Garfield. Also, King Queen of England would rode the line in the year 1939 as part of their American tour. They would actually try a hot dog for the first time. The line would begin to decline several years after that, and the last train to run in Pennsylvania Railroad Doodlebug train, no trailers, just the Doodlebug. After that train and the tracks were abandoned, the line would be ripped up. It means the tracks and the rail would be ripped up and scrapped or reused on other lines. This was in the year 1964, and also in 1964 we were building our rail line right next door. Now just a reminder, we have several cool events coming up. Railroads Weekend is September 6th and 7th this year. We'll be running all 3 of our trains, including this one you see right here, 45 in the coach, and our Man's Way train, which you see back there. HO scale and the O scale displays, and we're also going to have car barn and car shop tours available for free. It's the usual price, so no price increase for the Railroads Weekend. Then during the month of October, on Friday nights and Saturday nights, we'll have a haunted Halloween train. Don't ask me what you're going to see there, you'll have to see for yourself. Then after Thanksgiving and all the way to Christmas, we'll have our Santa trains, where Santa will be on the train giving gifts of good things to good students and coal to bad ones. Before I journey, I should remind you, please stay in your seats until the train has come to a complete stop and a single honk of the horn has been sounded. Thank you. Yes, that is our water tower. We actually use it during our steam days for filling up steam engines with water. Allaire Station, last stop. You may now get off the train. We hope you guys enjoyed your ride today and you consider donating and or riding again sometime in the future. Regardless of what you decide to do, we hope you have a great trip, a safe trip home.